Hello there. That was weird. Anyways, today we're going to be running a ring of solar all the way around the entire moon in Astroneer. Now, the first problem you're going to notice is that we're not on the moon. And that's because the longer my intro is, the more money I get. So here we are on the moon! And, obviously, I'm going to be doing this on a separate creative save because I don't want to craft that much solar. And also, this video idea came from this guy right here on screen. Shout out to this guy for giving me the idea for this video. Before we fully get into this video, though, I would like to explain the obvious drawback of solar power. When it is daytime, you get energy. When it is nighttime, you do not. Oh, that's coming from the shelter. Now, we all know that, so why am I pointing it out? Well, I'm pointing it out to explain the practical purpose of what we're doing today. You see, planets are round, so half of the planet is daytime at all times. So if we have a ring of solar going around the entire thing, we're actually going to have solar power all the time. I don't know why I said it like that. Subscribe. Sorry. Whoa. Anyways, what you're seeing right now is me running around the planet placing solar at light speed. Look at me, light speed. Look, sorry. Anyways, so the moon is obviously smaller than the home planet, so this is going to be quite a bit quicker than if I had done it on the home planet. More on that later. But it did take me 43 minutes, in creative mind you, to run this all the way around the planet. It would take you much longer in survival because you would have to probably just load all the solar onto a rover, drive it, unload it, drive it, unload it, drive it, unload it, okay, I'll stop. This may seem straightforward, right? You just go around the planet. You just run the solar around the planet and that's it. But it's actually kind of hard to stay in a straight line the whole time because you sort of want to avoid the hills and stuff. And even if you go straight over them, it's easy to get turned a little bit. So what you want to do is pull out your compass every now and then and make sure that home base is either directly behind you or directly in front of you. If it's behind you, obviously, that means you're not halfway there yet. And whenever it shifts to being in front of you, you're halfway around the planet. So how much power do we actually get from running these solar panels all the way around the moon? Well, as you can see, that would be 240, 234, 232, 235, 235, 234, 232, 230. Okay, so it's changing all the time. Why is that? Well, the first and obvious answer for that would be that this is not a straight line exactly. You can see that straight from the start. We're going straight. Then we went to the right there because there was a crater. And so I did that the entire time. I was avoiding craters, not going in a perfectly straight line, which means that basically a little more than half of the solar panels are on the daytime portion of the planet sometimes, and vice versa. And so there's going to be a bit of variation. But if we watch this for long enough, we'll see that it varies by really a very large amount. And that may be confusing for you. It was confusing for me as well. As you see, we drop all the way down to 76, then 0, 130, and we get up as high as 300. Why could that be? Well, my guess would be that we have so many solar panels spread across such a long distance that they can't all consistently and effectively load in correctly. More on that later. Which I can't really blame the game for. We went literally as far as we could on the moon here. So that's going to be hard to load all that in accurately. And you may be wondering, how many solar panels is this exactly? Well, hate to tell you, I didn't count, but we can do a little math here and guess. We sort of average whenever it's not bugging out. We average about 250 units of power per second. And since each solar panel gives us 1 unit of power a second, and half of them are always off, all we have to do is just double the average number we have in here, and that's how many solar panels we have. And since we average about 250, we have about 500 solar panels going around the moon here. So that may make you wonder how much power we would get if we did the same thing we did here on the home planet. And there's only one way to find that out. And that is with another time lapse, of course. And this time, it took me 1 hour and 21 minutes, also known as 81 minutes, which you may note is almost precisely twice as long as it took me to do it on the moon. So we can conclude that the moon has half the circumference as the home planet, which, if you're curious, would mean that they would look like this beside each other. Size comparison, size comparison, size comparison. Anyways, something I would like to point out is that it is easier to navigate the home planet than the moon while doing this. You can kind of just go in a straight line the whole time. The only thing that'll interrupt you is mountain ranges, which aren't too common unless you're having bad luck with it. And ravines, which aren't too hard to just build across or go around. On the moon, however, you probably noticed I was having to zigzag all the time because there were constant craters everywhere, making it a little bit harder to do it on the moon, but it's still obviously significantly faster just because it's a little man compared to the home planet. That's just the way things are. Anyways, something I noticed while doing this is that planets are a lot bigger than I thought they are in this game, because I kind of didn't think they were huge, because you can see the curvature of the planets pretty clearly. Very aggressive curvature. Makes you think the planets are small, but they're not. This took a long time. Not small. Planets in this game are actually kind of big, which is why it's an absolute shame that the devs have not added reasons to fully explore the planet. Anything you would go exploring to get, you could just get nearby. Anyways, now that we know that the home planet's circumference is twice that of the moon's, we know that we're going to be getting twice as much power for running a ring of solar around it, right? Nope, it's the same. It's the exact same, which changes everything. No, but it does. It changes everything, because now we know that they're not all loading in properly. I mean, I think that's the only explanation. Let me know down in the comments below if you think there's another reason why this number would be so much lower than it's supposed to be, given how much solar we put around the planet. But by my reckoning, you just can't load in that many solar panels over that large of a space, or it gets buggy and inaccurate. Now, some of you may be thinking, mountains, right? Because mountains do block sunlight, even if they're really far away, like that mountain over there. It would block the sunlight from hitting these solar panels right beside us. But I just don't think that makes up for the planet being twice as long of a distance to go around. I genuinely believe that the only explanation here is that running solar panels over that long of a distance just doesn't work. You can't do it because they will not load in.